In this video, I'm gonna do a quick little kind of side-by-side comparison of the Antix 3.0 medium versus the Firecracker, 2.5.2, which is pretty much their large. Now, I'm doing this because I don't have a medium Firecracker, so this is what I've been using as my half size, half slice, almost exclusive. It's a great boat, one of the better kind of kayaks out there on the market today. Now, the Antix 3, I've already paddled a few times, and wow, that really gave that Firecracker a run for its money. This is a really good platform. Jackson did an extremely good job on this. Now, they're very different paddling boats, by the way. The overall sizing on it, let me just go over the specs for y'all. I'll throw the specs up on the screen. The Antix is 8 feet long, where the Firecracker 2.5.2 is 8.3. The width on it, I think, is a little over 27 on the Firecracker, 26.5, which is pretty close, and then 67 gallons on the Antix 3, and a little over 70 plus gallons on the Firecracker 2.5.2. And the overall weight, they're pretty close. I think the Firecracker is a little heavier because it's got a rolled and molded pillar in it, and it also has bars on the bulkhead and all that. So it's a little heavier on that. Outfitting was very similar. The outfitting feels great on both of them. I see no issues with that at all. The overall quality and fit of them was very good. This is more like a true medium. That's actually like a small large in my opinion. Rocker on them was about the same. Actually, the rocker was very similar, about 8.5, about 8 3/4 on that one, and about 8 3/4 on that one. Bow was a little higher on the Firecracker, but only by like maybe a couple of millimeters. It was like right at the parting line. It's almost 14 inches there and 14 inches there. You can actually see very similar the rocker is on these, which is a good thing because I really like the performance of both of these boats. Look at that rocker. Now, there is more volume right behind you on the Antix 3 compared to this. This is more kind of like a drop volume there. It doesn't scoop out up into a volume hump on that. Bow of this definitely loads better. It's very flat right here. So if you plug this bow, you're gonna throw some monster loops in this thing. This is more like peaked rounded right here. And it's a little harder to load, but it works very well for shedding the water off cleanly on that. They do have the wave deflectors on the bottom right here. So the water doesn't come over it much, but the water didn't come up much over this because it's so wide and flat up here. That bow just goes right up over things really nicely. Knee height on these, obviously the 2.5.2 is going to be a little higher on its knee height from here to here, but actually from here to right here was almost the same. It was almost the same on the Jackson. And when you lift that seat pad up, it lowers it down by almost a ½ inch. So if you guys are a little tight in this, take out the seat pad and try to just pad out that bottom right there. I think you'll be surprised on how comfortable those knees are. They go up more in these pockets right here. They came up higher with that. I cover that more in my walkthrough of the design, so you can go over and check that out if you're curious about the design of that. Pyranha has this new Elite, and it's got these thigh braces adjustable right here. Has a little more bite on it, but these B's knees work just as well. I see no problems with these thigh braces. My knees never came out of that. That works surprisingly well, just to be some Velcroed foam in there. Pyranha did a good job on this Elite outfitting. I'm not going to cover that. If you guys are curious in either one of the outfittings, go over to the walkthroughs on both of these. Right now, I'm just going to kind of like do a good kind of shape and overall opinion of each one of these. But that's the decks of them. Let me roll it over and show you all the hull because there is a drastic difference between the hulls. Definitely the edges on this. So let's look at the edges now. Okay, this is where the Antix was very, very different when I paddled this thing. Look at how the Firecracker is very wide, flat planing, and then it just drops down into more of a traditional style rail right there. And then look what Jackson's done. They came out, dropped down, curled up, dropped down again, and flattened out, and then came down and bubbled out. Very nice edge. This was one of the loosest kind of half slices that I've ever paddled. It was so quick to spin on its spins. It surfed like a dream, but these rails were kind of tucked away when you didn't need them, and then when you needed them, just edge it down and it really grabs into that water. I really like the Firecracker for creek boating and creeking because it's a little softer. I've paddled the Scucks, I've paddled the Hot Whip, I've paddled this obviously, and then now the Jackson Antix 3. Man, this half size, half slice market is so stacked. They're all good in their own way. But right now, these are my two favorites right now. I think these are two of the best ones out here today. If you're interested in a half size, half slice, you could actually own both of these and paddle them on different days. So if it's like a manky, creaky run, I'd probably go with this. If it's more like a full-on kind of like flowy run, I'm going with this all day. This handled beautifully on a wave and downriver on grabbing that edge and moving around the river. And the bows both are very flat and the rocker's very similar on them. And I like that rocker profile. It feels really good. You can actually see how I don't have much scratches up here, just like with this, not much scratches. Mostly my scratches are when I'm splatting and moving around the river. Both these tails were very easy to get down. I didn't see any problem at all in getting this like Antix 3 down. I don't have any problem getting the Firecracker 2.5.2 down. It is a little more bulbous up here. You can see where all the volume is when you're looking at it. You can see how much volume they have here. These are very similar on their volume. It's the distribution of the volume's a little different on there. Now I do have an on-water review of both of these and I have a walkthrough of each one. If you want to go check out that, you can. So yeah, there it is. That's the kind of quick walkthrough and comparison of the Antix 3 and the Firecracker 2.5.2. Y'all leave in the comments below what you think of each one of these designs, which one you think is more suited for you, or which one you'd more likely to be. Definitely if you paddled them both, I'd like to hear what you have to say in a comparison on them, because I paddled them both and right now they're a tie. I like them both extremely well. I think they both do exactly what the manufacturers kind of set out to do, and I think they're both really good options for a small half slice out there. And yeah, I will leave links below where you can pick up one of the Antix 3 or, you know what, the Firecracker if you're interested in either one of them or any of the other gear that I use in most of these videos. That's all I got today on the Firecracker 2.5.2 versus the Antix 3.0. See you on the next video.